Netanyahu.
Bro, I was about to start streaming.
Oh.
I almost clicked the go live button.
Alright, so you're recording, Jeremiah. You recording?
Nope.
Alright, cool.
Bro, it's not gonna record my audio. I have two separate audios right now.
Oh, okay, cool. We would just get it from me and I'll get it from me and Andrew and see what's best. Okay, so I can see
No.
Jeremiah now. Andrew's dead.
Goddamn.
Okay, cool. So this is Youth. Welcome back to Rating Youth, guys. I have two special friends of mine, Jeremiah over there, far away, where he's skipping ahead, and
Yo.
Andrew that joined him over there. Yep,
What's up?
they're over there. Now I gotta catch up. Yeah, these are my dearest friends. You guys met Jeremiah already, but you know.
Wait, is
He-
this gonna be portrayed to his kids? I don't want to do that.
It's not his kids. It's the
My
kids.
kid. It's a youth. Okay. Oh, I
No.
died. Okay. So I missed the easiest jump. That's so bad. Okay, they'll get distracted, you know. But we're gonna just talk about life and stuff, and you guys are gonna be welcome to our conversations that we usually have at times. You know, those little quiet talks in the car and stuff like that. So I think it's gonna be a really cool thing for you guys to experience, and I think it's gonna be really fun. So who wants to start? Who wants to introduce themselves? Jeremiah, you want to go first, or Andrew? What do you think?
Why do I gotta go first?
Hello,
Okay,
my name is
Andrew, go
Andrew. Been a longtime friend of Junior's for a while. We met in middle school, so it's been almost like 9 years now. I don't know. I'm not keeping track anymore, but yeah, it's almost 10 years I've known this guy.
It's like love at first sight.
Yeah, bro.
Pretty much, man.
Totally. It was an amazing experience
Well,
meeting
was
these
it-
guys.
It was an interesting first meeting. I'll just say that it was pretty. But now
Oh,
we're
yeah, no,
here.
for
You
sure,
got to
for
see
sure.
this point.
Was
That's a story
Netanyahu
for
in the
another
same
time.
room?
Okay. And Jeremiah.
No, I got distracted. I fell.
Alright, well, Jeremiah, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Who are you?
Yo, I am Jeremiah. What is going on? What's up, everybody? I'm Jeremiah.
Okay.
Start it off as like a Markiplier one. What's going on, everybody? I'm my name's Jeremiah.
I does this a lot when he gets nervous.
I like
Yeah, he's a little nervous, guys.
I
Oh,
fell.
That's bad. I think I'm nervous. But yeah, so who are you, Jeremiah?
that. Who am I?
Yes,
More
I don't
than
know
your
you.
Final.
Uh huh.
No, I'm kidding. But 20 years old, known Junior for like a good 12, 13, 14, maybe 14 years, maybe pushing that.
Dang. Feels a good
Yeah,
bit
known
long.
you since back in elementary. You see?
That is true.
Yeah.
It's been a good bit.
Damn, we're old.
Yeah, we are. And now we're giving advice to people.
I'm not giving advice, bro. I'm just
Nice.
sharing
Talking
life
about life.
experiences.
That is
I'm
true.
sure my life experience. Yeah.
So, but yeah, we known each other for a bit now. Good friends, had some ups and downs, but yeah, it's been good times. We learned a lot about each other during the years. My first question to you. Let's start with Andrew. Man, how's life?
Shoot.
How's life going for you, bro?
Different pacing. Dealing with a lot of change right now, so that's kind of been like the only thing I'm not so sure of sometimes, but you know, that's life. Not bad. Not bad changes, mind you. It's just, you know, different. Obviously, I moved a little further away from you guys, so that's a big move, big change. Still really trying to wrap my head around this area I'm at, because it's not bad, but it's definitely not what I'm used to. I have a lot more free time now, which is nice, but at the same time, I'm also feeling a little left out sometimes, which, don't get me wrong, it's not like, you know, unnatural to feel that, because, you know, I used to hang out with you guys like almost every day. We go out and stuff like that, so now it's like a different change of pace in life. So I mean, I'm not doing too bad right now. Still have some
Okay.
support from my family and everybody, so I'm chilling.
Sweet. Jeremiah, how's life, bro?
Well, it's life and so far. Right now, I'm looking for another job because currently the company I work for is going under new management,
Oh.
and let's just say the management's not very good. So I gotta look for a
Okay.
different job. before they cut my hours.
Yeah, we don't like that.
You understand that when you guys are older.
Yeah.
Cutting hours.
They already know the money standpoint. They want more money. Yeah. It's the cutting hours. I think that sucks. And Andrew, going back to you, man. How would you say? Well, first, let's not go there. Let's go to the standpoint of when did you first meet God and stuff?
Well, I was
Got
raised
introduced to it,
Christian,
yeah.
so like, you know, a lot of my family and like the people around me would definitely they definitely held like a huge influence over my beliefs and like what I wanted to like view as right or wrong, and like I was exposed to that like pretty young. So most of the time, obviously, you know, as a young person does when living, you just didn't really care about it too much, you know what I'm saying? Like when I was growing up, I would be like going to church and stuff. I wasn't really in full understanding at the time of like how everything worked, and at many times like I just like ask my parents like what the point of it all was, like, you know, if it was just to be a good person or, you know, stuff like that. Would just, you know, the questions you ask as a child. And I didn't really start getting serious about my relationship with God until probably till I was like 13. So like since 13, I've been like trying to follow more in line with like what God would want for my life and like how I would go about that. Obviously, you know, I've matured since then. A lot of things have happened, a lot of life experiences. So that's helped me as well, like try to guide me towards him. And I'd say I'm going steady right now. You know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy, but yeah, definitely for me, God was always an idea at first, and then slowly became like this person I could lean on more and more as I've gotten older. And it really shows through my family, because, you know, we've gone through a lot in possibly like the past like 8 years, I would say, where things are just getting good, bad, you know, all in between. But, you know, somehow, some way, we're still here, so that's good. I owe that to God. I may not know why things happen or like how they end up happening, you know, with the way they do, but like, you know, as I've gotten older, this has truly just been more eye-opening for me as a person. I definitely struggled though. That definitely, you know, as everyone does, struggled with the idea of like maybe I don't want to do this anymore, or like stuff like questioning my beliefs at times, which is natural. Like, you shouldn't be afraid to question things, you know, like definitely be skeptical of like things you hear or say or do, like everywhere around you, you know. Always try to like always try to find the answers on your own, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say like that's what it was like for me.
Oh, okay. And Jeremiah, my question to you is, when did you get introduced to God and stuff?
Ooh. So for me, I was already born into a Christian household. So my mom's mom, my grandmother, was the one who introduced my mother to Christ back in Nicaragua. But yeah, honestly, it's been way back since we were like little kids that I've been introduced to God. And the teachings were, I would say, a little bit different than they are now. They were more traditional than the ones that we're used to listening to now.
Yeah.
Hold on.
No.
Hold
Oh.
on. I can't focus while I'm parkouring. Hold on.
The parkour. I keep on dying. I'm like trying not to like. Ugh. Okay. He's locking in, folks.
This jump keeps screwing me over. Please.
I love it. Oh my god, I missed that jump. Okay.
Yeah, the orange ones. I'm in the purples right now.
You were saying.
I'm just gonna find the birds.
Okay. So yeah. They blocked them.
Nice.
So.
No.
But while he's locking in, I'm gonna go talk about a little bit what Andrew said about the struggling part. Well, most of us, we all started like, we grew up to this faith thing. Like, we were all introduced. We all got born into church. I think most of us got introduced in church. I think, did the whole go to the altar, being prayed for. What's that thing called? It's being introduced in church, right? Introducing the newborn to God, something like that. Dedicating it. I forgot what it was.
That was called. But yeah, my parents did that with me when I was born. Shortly after, they just went to the church that was nearby, and they held me up there, and they're like, "This is our son. Please bless him," stuff like that. I heard about this years later, and I was like, "Yeah, that's so crazy." But yeah, they do that from time to time.
I think that was a pretty cool thing to do. They did like the whole Simba thing, like, like introducing us. I think that's pretty cool though, them doing that. But yeah,
we did that when I was a kid.
you were introduced?
No, yeah, like all my family.
I think it was different.
I had a lot of siblings. The only siblings that weren't were like the older ones, but obviously, like, when I was born, shortly after, it was like my two other younger siblings followed. So ever since that moment, like, we've just been basically more accustomed to that, and like in church and stuff like that.
Yeah, but yeah, we all grew up in church, and we all had like different experiences. Like, for me, it took me a bit to really like focus on God, and then I kind of like faded away because past relationship, and I just got lost in the sauce, I guess, in the relationship, and I lost myself, and I really just now, like you jag. Okay, yeah, just now he pushes me off the cliff while I'm talking about life. But yeah, just now I just got into this whole like faith thing, like actually serious. I had a lot of ups and downs with God, a lot of fights and arguments, and I think we all been there in that time that's just like life just be lifing, and like everything's going downhill, and we like question, like, is God really real? Because like all this is happening, and what the heck? For me, I felt like I really questioned it when like when I think I experienced like death for the first time. It was one of my family members, and I questioned, like, is this even real? Like, why I prayed for a family member and then they died the next day? Like, why is this a thing? And I think that was the first time I actually just questioned God. Like, God, like, why does he, when you pray, healing could happen, and then legit my family member died? And that was a moment that I feel like one of the moments that I really questioned God. I'm like, wait, is this thing even real? Type of thing. So that's my experience with that stuff. Andrew, what's a valid experience?
It's a valid thought process to go through. As a human, you're just kind of like, you're kind of stumbling around in the dark. Is the best way I could put it. Is like, you don't really know what's out there after you die. You're trying to like find some solace, some peace in knowing that maybe, like you were saying with the example of like your family member who passed away, like you're probably like thinking to yourself like, hey, you're this all-powerful God who can stop this from happening, or like bless people, like, why aren't you doing this? So it's natural for you to question like what you've been told, right, like over the years. But a lot of that I've seen like in like, I would say like older denominations and more traditional, like, churches and stuff, is like that questioning is kind of like, I don't know, look frowned upon. Like, they don't want you questioning stuff, they don't want you doing it, they just want you to have like blind faith completely, which is, very admirable at first, but like, what I'm saying, I would rather, you come to that conclusion yourself rather than just blindly follow someone, you know what I mean? And that was my problem, like, growing up with it, was how do all these adults expect me to follow it, right? If they themselves sometimes doubt it, but won't tell me that they doubt it, you know what I'm saying? And that was especially true for, like, people in my family who were struggling with stuff. Like, they would start to doubt stuff, you know what I'm saying? But they couldn't really, like, outwardly express that without either, like, being shunned away or, like, some stuff, like, happening, like, I was one of those examples where, like, I just started to question more of, like, why we did things, the way that they did, and, I wasn't really, like, treated horribly for that, but I was definitely looked at as more, like, oh, okay, so he's not really about the faith like that, you know what I mean? which I mean to me was kind of like alien, right? Because like you know me and my family were really close, so like when they started doing that, it kind of like alienated me a little bit, and it showed me that sometimes
Oh!
even when you doubt for like the right
Sorry.
reasons, some people like either take that the wrong way or like I don't know, they don't handle the situation as best as they can, right? And I can see that as a potential like catalyst for why people turn away from like God or like Christianity in general. Is you know like some Christians, you know we're not all perfect obviously, like but you know some Christians really do a bad job of interpreting you know things, right? And we can only get so far on trying to act the part that you know what I'm saying. We gotta actually like put our faith in God and like become what He wants us to become. Like not in a sense of because it's a good example for other people, but just for ourselves, right? You know, like and a lot of people like sometimes view that as like I don't know. In a way, we are always trying to like put on this persona of a person that we're not. When in reality, God all He wants is you know the raw like full version of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean my mom is a very good example of this. Like she's not perfect, but she does her hardest. You know what I'm saying? To like always be there for us as a family and like be in her faith as well. And sometimes that gets her into like hot water with people because you know they either don't like her faith or they don't like that she's just so crazy about it sometimes, you know. And like I get it, not a lot of people are into the whole crazy Christian thing, but like you gotta understand my mom has been like this for forever, not because like oh it's gonna benefit her in some way or like you know what I'm saying she's gonna like obviously it's gonna benefit her, you know, because she's with God, but like not just because of that, you know. It's because like so many hard things that she's gone through in life where like nobody was there to support her, you know what I'm saying. She's only had that like idea of faith that like God was always with her to kind of keep her close, you know. And it for her it's done amazing, you know what I'm saying. It's something for her that she is proud of and something that I wish one day I can also be proud of, not because you know I want to be like my mom, but because you know it's nice to have that, you know what I'm saying, that like that peace that you really can't get anywhere else, you know what I'm saying. Like I know a lot of people you know struggle with different religions and stuff like that and like try to find you know their peace, but honestly I don't know. For me I'm hoping and I'm praying that like I'll get close enough to God to the point where I can start feeling like that peace, you know what I mean. I can start feeling like maybe what my mom describes to me on almost a daily basis, right? Like that God is gonna always be there with you and everything's gonna be okay, you know. A lot of times I obviously doubt that, you know. I'm a human. I doubt things. I'm skeptical. I don't really just like blindly follow things. But at the same token, with that, I don't like outwardly just start rejecting people or dismissing people on their beliefs. Like if someone tells me they have a different belief than me, I'm not going to be like so dismissive of that and treat them with disrespect. You know, I'll just be as respectful as possible, you know what I mean? And just I'm like, hey, like that's cool. I don't share those beliefs, but hey, you know, that's good that at least you're finding something. An example of that would be one of my other buddies who I used to regularly game with, like every now and then. He's also into faith, but he's like, you know, a different denomination, right? You know, and I don't really question him for that. I don't really like, you know, get on his case for that, because, you know, at the end of the day, we're all just trying to find out what we're supposed to be doing in life, where we're supposed to go, what type of mark we're supposed to leave on this world. You know what I mean? Jesus gives us that peace, right? And obviously following him is like an honorable calling. So like, you know, you really gotta understand like the differences between us so that we can get closer to being whole, in my opinion, right? Like if I'm so different from you and you're so different from me, let's work out the differences. Let's see where we connect. You know, that's how I viewed it, and so far it's worked with some people. You know, like I don't necessarily want people to like convert all at once to, you know, what I believe in, because, you know what I'm saying, I want people to just like naturally come into their own to their own conclusion, you know what I'm saying? Like to their own thing, right? If they find God, they do it, you know what I'm saying? They did it. That's great. If they're still kind of stumbling around in the dark, that's fine. I can help you out, but I'm not gonna like give you the answers. You know what I mean? When I myself am still trying to find the answers. So there's a lot going on, you know, especially right now in the world, where people are so divided over what they believe in instead of trying to help each other.
Yeah.
And that right there is like already causing a huge divide, a huge rift in like what we're supposed to be doing, especially as Christians, man. Like I feel like a lot of Christians, they just, I don't know, they're too judgmental, and they're too like, I don't know, like they have this like I get we have the authority to like, you know, do certain things on this earth, right, granted to us by Jesus, but at the same time it's like, guys, like, you know, like we're all human beings, you know, we shouldn't treat each other with such disrespect or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't berate people out of, you know, for no reason. I don't do that to just like rank up. Like, do I joke? Of course. You know what I'm saying? I think a healthy amount of, you know, taking the piss out of each other sometimes is needed, right? Because then I feel like if we can't do that, then, you know, everyone's just so uptight about things. Things aren't gonna move like any further. Like it's just how I view it. But yeah, man, like Christianity itself has been around for a long time. We have made it work before. It's just we've had a lot of time, I would say, to get picky about it. You know what I'm saying? To like cherry pick certain things we like about it and then keep that, and then all the things that were in it originally we just kind of like let go. You know? Instead of just like consuming the whole message, we're just trying to like only use parts of it that we like. You know what I mean? And that's like a super common practice now, where it's like, I get it, to practice love and stuff like that, you know, is what Jesus would have wanted. But also, like, you know, to love someone is to, you know, do what's best for them sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Even if like they themselves will condemn you for it and tell you that you're an evil person or whatever. Like, dude, you gotta understand, like, I'm not doing this to hurt you. I'm doing this to not even save you, just to show you the way. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like Jesus would tell you, you know, you are the light of the world. So, you know what I'm saying? In a way, you're kind of pointing people in general direction of where they should be going. Not saying like I know all the answers, right? But like, you know, hey guys, you know, this Jesus thing is working out for me. You know what I'm saying? It might work out for you. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that I'm right and that I'm the one you should be following, right? I'm telling you, follow Jesus.
Yeah, give it a try, pretty much.
Yeah, and it never hurts to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to do it, that's fine. It's completely fine. You know, nobody's gonna. Well, I won't condemn you for that. You know what I'm saying? And like tell you that you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say that add on to what you said, yeah, there's a lot of believers right now, a lot like attacking other people. It's because, you know, we do have authority, but we shouldn't be like, there's certain things that we could condemn, and then there's certain things that it's not our job to do it. It says in scriptures to judge within the church, like judge people in the church. Sometimes we take that as we judge everyone around the world. It's like, not, that's God's job. It says it like, hey, my job is to judge, like I'm the judge, and God's gonna judge everyone one day. But our job is to judge the church, but in a sense of judging and helping out the person, not judging, pushing them down to their lowest point.
Yeah, I would hold someone accountable of their actions. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I'm not gonna judge a person based on what they, you know, have done. But like, obviously, I'm gonna do it in the confines of what Jesus has, you know, taught us, and like how we're supposed to go about it. Like, okay, you've made a mistake. Like, why did you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you knew that was wrong. But I'm not gonna tell you like, oh, I don't like you anymore. I hate you. You're not a person that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something that, you know, many people nowadays don't consider. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even outside of Christianity, you know what I'm saying? You wronged them once, and now you're like an enemy to them. You know what I mean? It could have been out of like malice. It could have been, you know what I'm saying, out of any other reason. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a one and done. You know what I mean? Like, nobody nobody gets that second chance anymore, right? And I feel like the world is just kind of like run out of chances, right? It's like, okay, you wronged me once, and you know, whatever, you wrong me again, like no chance, right? Whereas in Christianity, we're taught, yes, you know, like forgive, you know, and forgive, which is hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that forgiving someone is easy, because sometimes that could be the hardest thing you have to do in your life, right?
Yes, for sure.
But forgiving someone doesn't just like pardon them of their crime. It gives them like that step they need to move forward, right? And then also for you, instead of you holding on to that resentment for that person or that thing that they did to you, you let go of it, right? Like you let go of it and you free yourself of like basically what has been shackling you to like
Yeah, it
that
gives you a
person.
sense of freedom and peace.
In a way, yeah. Like in a way, if that person has wronged you or has done something so terrible to you and you find the strength within yourself to forgive him, you know what I'm saying? In a way, it does kind of free you from it. But you know, like I said, it's not an easy process to go through, especially like if the hurt
You ever heard
has
of
been
spiritual chains?
a
Spiritual chains?
Yeah, it's like things that hold you back in life. It's like let's say I wanted to get like some type of bike, right? Like if I always wanted this bike, but something in the past has prevented me from getting this bike. Like let's say I fell off something very high. So it is in the back of my mind. It's like, oh, I was to fall off the bike. It's just something that holds me down from not doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So like it kind of it's like like Andrew said, it's a shackle that holds you down basically from doing anything you want to do. And that's not even in the spiritual sense. That's like in real life too. Like a lot of things happen like that, where you just limit yourself because of something that happened to you.
Yeah, out of
Yeah,
memory in
you
the
know.
past, or even in family member as well. Like it could kind of scare us from
Right.
actually trying something. You see some kids that they see that their parents never graduate from college or they never did this. No one has ever succeeded on a point that they graduate from college, and now they don't think they could do it. You get me? Or
It's like
they don't feel like they could
And
get
it's
away
another
from
thing
something.
too when like sometimes when you're talking about like the whole like your parents and like spiritual shackles and stuff like that. The thing is too that like what majority of what will happen, right? And you guys can maybe like relate to this is maybe the parents will start like putting their expectations, you know, and their stuff's on their children. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like certain things where like let's say like you were saying for example like nobody in your family or whatever has been, you know, able to get past this threshold of success, and now they're like banking it all on you, and now these expectations are set on you, and then like, you know what I'm saying, now you're carrying a lot more weight, you know, now you're carrying a lot more, you know, pressure, you know, within yourself to just succeed or to do what's right by them and you. Like there's a lot of pressure riding on you, and there's a lot of like expectations, right? And I feel like a lot of
which
people
can push you away from doing it.
Yeah, a lot of people, and it's just like just life advice, a lot of people fall and crack under pressure from just the sheer amount of expectation placed on them, right? Not
Yeah.
to say like if you take it up, you know what I'm saying, you don't have to meet them. Like you're gonna have times in your life where like you're gonna probably have to meet those expectations. But what I've always like kind of thought and said to people who have had this problem is like, don't burden yourself with like saying, oh, okay, I have this expectation of doing this, you know, everything's riding on this. If I fail, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's not over. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you just didn't have what it took to do this because you were meant to do something else, right? Like you were meant to do, I don't know. Let's say you wanted to train for the Olympics, you know what I'm saying? Or go to the NBA or something like that, you know, sports related. But like really, you're more gifted at something else, right? That doesn't mean you're like horrible as a person, right? You know what I'm saying? Or you fell short of expectations that, you know, you had for yourself. But like, you were just better suited at something else. And I know a lot of people's pride gets in the way of that too, right? You know, like, whereas like you tell them that and they don't take it as like a friendly advice. They take it more as, oh, you're saying I could never have done it, basically. Like I was never gonna do it. And it's like, well, you want me to tell you the truth, or do you want me to tell you, you know, the sweet words that you wanted to hear, right? Like, I'm gonna tell you the
Yeah.
truth, right? So, if the truth was that you were better suited for something else, and you know you're better gifted at something else, that's not like anything to be ashamed of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
I'd
You
rather
didn't make it
just
to the
find the
NBA.
button.
That's fine. You'd rather to find the button.
He's getting frustrated. I'm getting frustrated too. I'm trying to stay quiet. Oh my god.
Let's go something chillaxing like find the button, bro. Let's pause real quick. This is actually
I mean,
making me
I'm like,
aggravated.
I'm just yapping here, but like, but yeah, there's a lot writing on like, certain people taking things the wrong way, right? And it's the same thing with like, I think with Christianity is where people who aren't Christians, right, kind of hear us talking about faith or believing in this and that. Like they for them it's like they don't see it the way we see it. So our job isn't to like judge them and tell them that they're wrong, but rather to show them like, hey, you know, this is why we believe that. You know what I mean? Like, we have scriptures, we have testimonies, we have everything that we could possibly use in our arsenal. We don't have to resort to telling you, hey, like, get out, you know what I'm saying, or condemn people because they don't understand the message, right? If anything, we should be trying to help people understand the message more, right? Like, it's not something you understand right off the bat. Like, dude, I didn't understand anything off the bat, you know what I mean? And I was raised Christian, and like a lot of people will tell you that, like, yeah, sure, like I was raised in a Christian household, doesn't mean like I understood everything or really like resonated with much of it, but eventually,
Of course, like
on my own,
you were little. You were little.
yeah,
no,
the thing though, you have to kind of approach it like that, where it's like, it's almost like a child for the first time learning everything, right? Like for you, like picture yourself in their shoes and what they're experiencing, how they're going about it, what the world is like for them, and then go from there. Because a lot of times we're just approaching it like they're, you know, obviously adults, and like we're like, hey, grow up, you know, this is the real faith, you know what I'm saying, this is what it's all about. And it's like, for them, like, dude, they don't understand that, they've never been around that, or you know, stuff like that has never been commonplace, whereas for us it's kind of been commonplace, but we still struggle to grasp it.
Yeah. I think one example would be like, you know, a child doesn't know how to swim the first time they go in the pool type of thing. Like, there's a learning curve to it. Or a kid doesn't know how to ride a bike without the training wheels first. Like, some people are talented enough to do it, but not everyone, you know, gets to that point where they know how to do something instantly. You know? And I feel like the expectation thing, one thing that kind of I struggle with, I guess, for that is that expectation, that standard, I guess, and expectation that I got put in my family, that, well, my family put on me, that was like a lot of pressure. Put a lot of pressure on me when it comes to relationships. Because one of the expectations that got put onto me was that, oh, I will be this good man in a relationship, or a good husband. I'm such a gentleman. I'm such a this. So when I wasn't that reaching that standard for a good bit in my life at a certain point, I legit pushed so much shame and put myself down for it, and I'll beat myself for it for not doing the right thing on a certain part in the past relationship that I was in, and it just put me down to a very low point in my life because of it. And it's just that expectation that gets put on you, and that pressure to fit this standard that really, you know, I was supposed to be, I guess, born, like, slowly put into it, not like that pressure of being born, saying I'm gonna be this and that type of thing. I guess that's something that I struggled with growing up. I feel like that was tough for me. I don't know if you guys have ever felt a point where you guys got this like standard or this expectation on your guys' lives that's like, you were told you're gonna do all this and they expected this from you, and then when you did the total opposite, it just sucked, you know, to experience it.
Yeah, I'd say that's honestly pretty common, you know. And that's also why I feel like people develop, honestly, a kind of like anxiety and like a fear almost of failure, because, you know, they've already failed once before and it kind of scarred them, because, you know, their family either pushed them away or treated them differently for that. even though it's natural, you know what I'm saying? You're never gonna get things, you know, correct, like, you know what I'm saying, like perfect all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you're a human being, you're gonna make mistakes, things are gonna happen. But, you know, I think for them is like, they just expect it out of you because for them, I don't know, either it wasn't as hard or for them it was like a different experience. Whereas now, you know, I don't know. Things in the world right now, compared to what they were before, you really, I don't know, it's like comparing apples to oranges. Like, yes, some things have stayed completely the same. You know, that's a for sure thing. But other things have just completely changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like, we can't navigate it the same way. And for a lot of people, that's like a huge point of contention there. It's like, well, I did this back in my time, I was your age, and it's like, you know, there's certain things now, sure, I could still do them, but it's just gonna be like 10 times harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's like I'm better than you, right? Because that's the thing too with like taking advice from either seasoned or old people, is like, you mention how hard it is now, and they tell you like, stop making excuses and just go do it. You know, when I was your, you know, when I was your
Loki,
age,
this is a different conversation, bro.
this is in the realm of possibility, right? Because if I take the example of a parent taking their, like, you know, expectations and setting them onto a child, right? That's what a lot of people who are new to Christianity kind of feel. They feel like they need to live up to this perfect standard of Jesus, right? Because in church, what are you taught, right? You're taught to be as virtuous, you're taught to be like more like Christ, you know, like all the time. And if you falter, sometimes the people in your church will treat you differently. Same way a child, yeah, exactly. Same way a child would get shunned by a parent who's like really hard on them with their expectations, right? Saying like, when I was on this earth, I was doing this. You know what I'm saying? Why aren't you doing that? That's kind of what they feel, in a way.
Then they introduce like the spirit of comparison to them as well, because they compare to your maybe a sibling or another parent's child, like a friend's child, and it's like, bro, really?
It's a super common thing, honestly. Super common thing.
Yeah.
Right. And that breeds a lot of distrust, you know, and it breeds a lot of like doubt within you as a person. If you're just kind of like, not coerced into stuff, but like more, your expectations, right, are not your own. They belong to someone else, right? You know what I mean? And that's what people like new to the church kind of feel, where it's like, I have to now be this perfect person, I have to follow it, or else they're gonna shun me, or else this or that. And like, that's not like something I personally like enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's very like it's a very sour experience for people, right?
Yeah.
And it can also be the point, right? That kind of like, at that point, like, maybe they were trying Christ, you know what I'm saying, as a mentor, and they went to a church, and then they were treated in such a way that they were just kind of like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, right? Like, this is a waste of time. And, you know, it happens. It happened to a person I know. It happened to many people who I genuinely consider like friends. Like, obviously, like, I asked them, because they got curious as to why I still believe in Christ and stuff like that. You know, they're like, okay, you know, with what you know about the world and like how people treat you sometimes, like, why do you still believe in Christ? And I was like, well, like, you know, like, I don't know what type of experience you had, right? But obviously, like, you know, our lives have been very different, right? You, like, for example, my friend of mine, she comes from a different time period, you know what I'm saying? Different whole entire era of like how time, you know, like the times were back then, and like how things were normalized, right, back in the day. So for her, it was a very scarring experience where she, like, you know, just wants nothing to do with it, absolutely, you know, like no interest in it whatsoever. Whereas for me, it wasn't obviously half as bad as that, but like, you know, I still had my doubts, my fair share of troubles with it. But instead of trying to like rationalize it and saying, hey, this doesn't make sense, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna push forward with this, right? I'm gonna push forward with this, I'm gonna see where it goes. And eventually, after a long time, you know, like after a long time of just like self-doubt and also like kind of like questioning everything, I eventually got into a circle of people, you know, that kind of gave me a whole new perspective on it, right? Like a whole new thing where I wasn't just questioning things because I was scared or because I didn't know anything, but truly just to question things because I wanted to know the truth, right? So I went from following Christ as a necessity for like survival, basically, like afterwards, because you know, obviously when you're like brought up like that, you know, there's like stuff like, oh, don't sin against other people, Jesus doesn't like that, or this or that, you're going to go to hell if you do this or that, right? So it went from fear, right, of not following him to now I want to follow him because I want to know more about this person, right? I want to know more about Christ, and I want to know more about, you know, how this came about, you know what I'm saying? So that's why reading the Bible is important, you know, even if you want to get more like, want to get more historical with it, it's still interesting, you know what I mean? The history of Jesus' life and the Bible and stuff, like things like that. If that's your way in, then you start to really progress more. You start to really see things move forward, right? But like back to what I was saying, where like some people have like adversity to Christianity like that, it's because of bad experiences, right? Like one bad experience can literally ruin the whole thing. The whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I had a very close encounter with that. Specifically within like my own church, right? Like at the time, there was a lot of like hypocrisy, right? And I just got so fed up with it that to me, it was like almost my turning point, right? Like if I chose to do this, I would stop following Christ, right? Or if I just continued and instead of focusing on them and started focusing more on Christ, I would eventually push past this, right? And so instead of focusing on the hypocrites around me, I started focusing on the teacher, right? Not the pastor, not anybody, you know, just Jesus, right? I take all of those elements out of the way, and all of a sudden, like, the way became much clearer. You know what I mean? Things were starting to line up more. I was starting to get things better. Like, it was just like a rapid amount of succession, you know, like, just to the truth, right?
Yeah.
Pushing away all, like, the other people, right? All the other things in life that were just, like, not really worth your time, right? And that's another thing for, like, life advice, bro. Don't worry about whatever other people are thinking about you. You know what I'm saying? If you're still in the woodwork, you know what I'm saying? You're still in a work in progress. You're still trying to get where you're trying to get to. You're trying to like, just better your life, get closer to Jesus. Literally, their opinions don't matter. Like, it does not matter. And it's like something I still like struggle to like tell myself all the time, where it's like, don't concern yourself with other people's opinions, right? Like, just don't do that. I'm not saying like literally be so full of yourself that like you don't take people's advice, because that's different. But if like someone's just being, you know, a little too on your case about things, right? Don't let them get under your skin, like, you know, under your skin so much. It's not worth your time. It's not worth it, and it's more worth your time to just keep progressing in what you're doing right now, whether that's, you know, trying to find something to do or explore new options, get closer to God, like things that are your goals, right, are going to be like a good source of your time rather than someone else's opinion, right?
Yeah.
That's why always something that people, like kids nowadays need to learn is that life goes by really fast, really fast, and we don't know yet. And it's a true thing that everyone says. It's a fact that we don't realize how much time we have when we're young. We really don't. I just remembered, like, I remember me and Junior had a conversation about this when we were eating ice cream and went out. We're like, then when do we graduate? And was like, we graduated last year, right? No, we graduated almost 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost 3 years ago. I'm 20 years old now, bro.
No.
I graduated when I was 18 years old, my bad. 18 years old, I graduated.
Yeah, it gets you to that feeling. It's like, dang, bro, we old. like we thought like we just graduated from senior year. Like we've just been there, you know, and
Like,
it's crazy.
yeah, like the mindset of us right now is like, oh, we're still in our parents' houses and like playing Minecraft after school
As we're doing
without
right
a care in the world.
Yeah.
But
Those are
yet,
good days, bro.
now we're on all of our 20s right now and trying to figure out the next steps. That's really it.
Yeah, and just one thing to say, like, even at this age, like, we still don't have it fully figured out. Like, we have some things figured out, but still, we're still trying to figure out things. And I feel like sometimes there's this pressure, like, that we feel like sometimes kids feel like we need to have everything figured out by the time we graduate from high school. But sometimes, bro, it's okay to not have everything figured out yet. You have me still trying to figure things out. Andrew, I believe you're still trying to figure things out. Like, fully, like, what am I supposed to fully do in this life? Like, what is this goal? Like, where am I going with this? And I feel like sometimes we have, like, those questions, like, wait, what's next? What's the next thing for my life? What's that next goal? What am I reaching out for? What am I looking out for? Like, what's next? And, yeah.
Yeah, you always gotta remember, too, is like, live for yourself. Don't live for anyone else other than yourself. Never live for another person, no matter how close you guys are. Because at the end of the day, it's just you by yourself in one bedroom.
Yeah, and another thing too with that, I want to say is like, don't try not to compare yourself where everyone else is at that graduated in your level, because everyone has their own path of getting to where they're supposed to go. So don't be discouraged when you see like maybe one of your friends when they graduate or just now like at a different level than you are in life. It's like everyone has their own path. Some people get up there quick, but some people, get there in their own pace. And just follow your pace. Don't be distracted what other people are doing. Just focus on your road. Focus on your race. Everyone has this race of life, and everyone finishes it at their time. It's not a race that we gotta try to beat each other to that point. It's like a marathon. Everyone gets congratulated just for completing a 4K run or 5K run. Everyone gets congratulated because not a lot of people make it in this race of life, in that race of a marathon. So don't treat this race of a marathon as, hey, I'm trying to beat the next person right next to me. Don't make it competitive. Make it as a thing that, hey, we're all trying to get to this point. Let's help each other out. Let's make it there. And yeah, don't be so focused about what everyone else is doing. Stay on your lane. Focus on your stuff. Don't get distracted, pretty much.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Life is it is a roller coaster. Everyone will have their ups and downs with it. It's at the end of the day, everyone it's a learning phase. It's not like everyone would have it figured out. It's not like, oh, you see these rich people have it all figured out. Trust me, it is not like that at all. No one in life hasn't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
Like we all just take it one step at a time.
Yeah, day by day.
It's literally day by day.
And that's why I feel like one of the verses that I fully relate to a lot. It's my favorite verse, and it's the one that goes, "Don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow has its own worries. Today's worries are sufficient for its own." I really relate to that because sometimes in the past I'll go through life, and sometimes I catch myself doing this. I'm worried about what's gonna happen next, or what's gonna happen tomorrow if I do this today. And I don't sit in the present, and it's a kind of dangerous thing because if you're constantly looking out in the future, worried about the future, you kind of lose sight of the present. And I love using this of what a gift the present is, and you kind of just lose sight of it and lose moments of your life that really you can never get back.
That's why people say time flies. It really does. It really does fly by. Enjoy your youth now. Don't let anything stop you from having fun or what you love doing. Because at the end of the day, we're all gonna grow old, and it's just a matter of time. Not to get like sad or something.
Yeah, put in the side.
It's true.
It's the truth though.
It's
the
true.
truth that gets you there sometimes. Yeah.
It's like we're only in our teens once. There's no going back. There's no no. It's already been set in stone. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Every year we're growing older. We're growing wiser, as people would say.
Yeah.
the older the wiser.
I don't think I'm getting any wiser with these jumps, bro. Honestly, I think I'm getting dumber.
Bro, I it's
No,
got
let's
stuck
play
in
find the
there.
button, bro. I'm in the blue ones. It's like.
No, dude, it's like I'm trying to like hold on to the ladder parkour,
Oh my
and I
gosh,
keep
okay.
falling.
Like this. I'm pissed already.
Yeah.
This is part of the video.
Why are we angering ourselves, bro?
This is part of the video.
I'm not even
Okay.
getting angry. Dude. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not motivated to finish this, bro.
And me neither. I'm like, dog. I'm talking about life. I want to end it right now and just watching this. Playing this fun.
No, but
I'm
yeah,
getting
one thing I'll just to let you guys know, we just got off a series called Reborn Christian, and we're talking about things what it takes in this life of faith. We even talked about addictions and stuff like that. Like things are tough to go through, and one of the things I feel like is
Now,
commonly
this
is
is an
addiction.
interesting conversation.
Jeremiah, if you want to start it with addictions, you could go ahead. Talk about your
Wow.
life experience and stuff like that.
Why are we talking about?
you over here said it would be interesting, so I think you should start it. And I'll go on after that, or else I started, however. But your call, man. You want me to start it?
Yeah, but start the world.
I'm starting the world, yeah. But we could talk while we're loading in, man.
Okay, but yeah, we talked about this too when it was me and you and Harold over there, Cold Stone, that
Yes.
place. We're talking about
Good-
addiction.
good spot, by the way.
And and addiction is a real thing, no matter what it is. Like even a hobby can be turned into an addiction.
Yeah.
Oh,
It would say-
1,000%. 1,000%.
It's the same thing. It's like it's pornography, whether it's pornography, video games, smoking, drugs, alcohol.
Too much
abuse.
of like anything turns into a bad thing.
Yeah, even eating
Almost-
could be a disorder or an addiction.
Yeah.
It comes to those types of things, where it's in my case, I was addicted to nicotine and pills, and that was when I was younger. This was during high school and middle school, so this is like a long time ago. I'm in my 20s, so when I got sober off pills and nicotine, it was like probably a year ago from now, so it's not even that long. Actually, it might be a couple months. It might not even be that long. But pills that I've been sober with for about like 2.5 years. Ever since I graduated, I've been off them.
Nice.
But
That's good.
addiction does come all different shapes and sizes, where it's like you think that you can overcome an addiction, and I'll tell you this right now, maybe you have the strength to do that, and maybe you're afraid to come out to people, maybe your family members, because I know I was when I was addicted, where it's like, oh, they might shame me for this, or which is an Hispanic household, they like, it's common for Hispanics to like shame their kid for using any type of drugs, or maybe to be
doing anything like
Yeah.
like that's not considered like a good
because
or whatever.
it's
or
like-
considered taboo.
Yeah.
It's like to your parents, or to our parents, I would say in general. They think that, oh, I brought you to America, I wanted you a better life, not the same life that we had. It's understandable from a parent's point of view.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does make it hard to come out to your parents with anything, or maybe to your friends, because you know how judgmental they are sometimes. It's just like that, and sometimes you want to bottle up to yourself, which that can lead to different types of addictions, or even worse, it can lead you off in an alley somewhere. God forbid, it's like it happens. You go down to a like you tunnel vision yourself from like seeing the bigger picture of you being healthier, or like getting
I
better
found the button.
mentally. Where was it?
In the water. One of the pond. Yeah, the pond with the lily pads on the right side.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah. Wow. All right, cool. So yeah. But yeah. We could.
But yeah,
Oh shoot.
I could. Well, I'm gonna dive way deeper in the rabbit hole right now.
Well, I guess before you do that, let's go to this point. That with oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. So with addictions, like Jeremiah said, there's different shapes and sizes of it. There's addiction to food. It could be vapes. It could be just playing video games, really. And you can kind of just get lost into it. And sometimes
I'm that guy right now. I'm so addicted to playing video games right now. It's actually almost miserable.
Hey,
Like
hold on.
you try to like
Wait.
play so many games and you end up not playing anything because like you're just kind of like so oversaturated with stuff. Whereas before, when I wouldn't play as much, like it would be like such a treat just to play a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like right now, right? You know, I think the only time I get any sense of like fun out of video games right now is when I'm playing with like either you guys or like some of my other buddies. But like majority of the time, if I play alone, dude, it is so miserable. It is like the most miserable thing you can possibly think of, where it's like you've done everything, you've completed most of the things, you don't want to start new projects anymore because you're just kind of like out of motivation to do anything, right? So it just
Yeah.
becomes like, at first you're like, wow, I could play video games all the time. That sounds awesome. And then like, you know what I'm saying? Eventually you get
Take a minute of the stump.
nice. Eventually you get like, you know, a little bit more accustomed to it, and like eventually you just get bored. You know? You just get bored. And it's a natural thing. You know what I mean? To get bored of things. But like I was saying earlier, like too much of a good thing quickly becomes a bad thing, right? That's why I feel
Yeah,
like
I feel like
I
that comes from-
appreciated video games more when they were like less in my life, because I appreciated the time, like the scarcity of it. Now it's just like I have so much time with it. It's just kind of like I'm trying to find something new, but I like honestly video games have just been there, so I only do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Sometimes even like what's it called? Like, you know this, Junior, right? Like in the past, video games for me were such a bad thing to have so much of, because I would not only did it affect me like physically, because I wouldn't like eat or sleep correctly, but I wouldn't. It also affected like my relationships. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with like, you know, either you guys or people. Like obviously, you know, we would game and it'd be fine, but like, you know, other people, like, you know, I would basically just not give them any attention, like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just me, my games, all day, every day. It was bad. It was really bad. You know, not as bad as, you know, like other points in my life, but definitely bad, right? Right now though, I would say I'm alright. Solely just because of the fact that I have stuff to do around here, right? Like if I didn't have stuff to do around this house, I would go crazy. You know what I'm saying? I would go crazy. I'd be like one of those like level 1000 Master Prestige people in Call of Duty, just like no life in the crap out of the game. And then
Pretty much.
you just getting on after work, getting sweated on by some dude who just plays games all day. But no, yeah, thank God I actually have stuff to do around here, around the house, around town. Like I actually want to do stuff, you know what I'm saying, outside of video games, which is nice. And then I'm kind of getting that sense back where, like, you know, playing video games is now becoming more of a reward and not a prison. But yeah, definitely it affected my mental. It affected like a bunch of shit, mostly in my life. But is this a button? You've been on the button this whole time. You didn't say anything.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't want to cut you off, so I was like, I'm just gonna dance around.
You can literally just, dude, we're still playing a game. Okay. Cut me off if I'm yapping too much. You know what I'm saying? You
But-
say, hey,
but I
I'm
don't-
fucking button.
That's the wrap of the video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. It was very fun making it. It was nice to talk to the guys and have this open conversation that we have in a car like this, us sitting side by side having these private conversations, and just us willing to have it open with y'all so you guys can listen to it. So I really do hope the conversation blessed you, and I help you guys out. There is more to this conversation. There's actually a part 2, so stay tuned for it. It will come out next week. I'll be posting it next week. So yeah, stay tuned. If you really like this video, you're gonna really like the next one, because the next one, it goes a little off certain topics, I guess, and it gets a little funny and weird. So I think you guys might like it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want more like this, more stuff like this for you, hey, let us know. We could do it in person, or we could do gaming, or we could do it live. No cuts. You let us know. But yeah, love you guys. Hope to see you guys next week. Bye. Hi, it's me. We're not gonna cut that out. But they gonna delete this now, because my god.